Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another new video for Atlanta United. Today it's going to be a little bit different of an episode. We're going to be talking about the new signing for Atlanta United, or at least the prospect of the new signing, Franco Escobar. He can play right back, he can play center back. He's a player, he's Argentinian in descent. He will pair up pretty well, obviously, with LGP. It was rumored about a few days ago, once the playoffs really started kicking off, that we were looking at getting a new defender in for the team. You're going to see the stats on the screen here. Doesn't look like too bad of a player. On Instagram yesterday, he ended up posting a picture basically saying, don't be sad that it's ending, be happy that it happened, talking about leaving his current club. So he is leaving, I believe it was Newell's Old Boys. So he's leaving that club, coming to Atlanta. It looks like, at least. It hasn't been officially announced, but I did want to go ahead and throw him into the team and kind of see how he would feel. So this isn't going to be a video of goal highlights or anything like that. I kind of wanted to highlight how he felt as a player, both in right back and center back. So we're going to have two games in this episode. Going forward, he actually felt really good. He's not a player that you're going to get into the most attacking positions. As you guys saw in the stats, his attacking positioning is not very high. He does have decent pace for a right back, not anything that you would see that would impress you maybe on a different card in like a bigger league, but definitely compared to Anton, Tyrone, Mark Bloom, Greg Garza, or anything like that, he's not going to impress you that much with his pace, but he does get into the good positions. He can get back into defense really quickly. He has medium work rates, which is really good, because unless you're pressing him super high up into the box, he's going to get himself back the second he thinks you're going to lose the ball. As you guys saw there, I don't know if you paid attention to the bottom of the screen, but even before I actually lost the ball right there, he ended up starting to trek back, which is really good. There's players that don't really do that, and they get caught out of position, and then you have to fight your way back to try to catch up to the offensive play. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, in this game, he's playing specifically in that right back role. Realistically, we're looking at, if we don't end up re-signing Anton, he's going to slide into that right back role. If we do re-sign Anton, he gives us the option to play maybe three in the back as a center back. He gives us the option to play center back over Michael Parkhurst when injured. So there's definitely going to be some interesting things that happen with the team this offseason. There's a lot of talk that we're going to end up buying Tito out of his DP spot, which allows us to bring in another DP. This Franco Escobar will not be considered a DP. His transfer fee, I don't think, is big enough, or his wages, and he's also a young enough player that he's kind of a discovery player more so than anything else. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he works into the team. But in FIFA, I will say he actually feels really good for a 65 rated player, alongside obviously Anton, who I believe is also 65 rated. He, once you play in a team like this, as long as he has the pace, as long as he has decent passing, it actually feels really good with him in the squad. I did enjoy him more at right back than center back, which we'll get into in the second game, as I do end up moving his position and actually playing him at that center back role. But he does do a very good job at center back as well. He has, I believe it was 66 or 67 stand tackling and 70 slide tackling, which is really good for a right back. And then obviously as a center back, it does not hurt as well. His marking can be a little iffy sometimes, but where his marking falters, his defensive positioning ends up shining. Very rarely is he actually caught out of position. The only problem you'll have with him is whenever you're trying to kind of keep up with a player and jockey a player. Sometimes his marking isn't all that great on runs, but whenever it comes to his original starting position, he will definitely do the job for you. So this is a player that I'm definitely going to try to get into our career mode once the time does come, but I did want to go ahead and give him a shot as the news is starting to break that he is joining the team. So obviously we won't see him until March, but hopefully we can get him into this career mode and kind of at least enjoy him a little bit before he comes into the team. He did wear the number 36 when he was playing at his old club, so it actually slides in perfectly if he does want to keep that number. I'm assuming he will, but I don't know for sure, so we'll just have to see how kind of that plays out. As you guys see though in this game, his positioning is good. His passing has seemed to be pretty good. I tried to do some fancy flicks and whatnot just to kind of see how his passing would stack up in this new update, which does make passing when you're not looking at a player a little bit more difficult. So I wanted to test it out a little bit, and it seems to be working really well. So he looks like a very good player that's going to slide into that right back position really well for us, but I think he'll also do really well once we get his rating up to play in the 3 in the back formation alongside Perez and whatever center back we end up bringing in. So that's definitely something to look forward to in the team. The only downside to him is, although there are a decent amount of players that have really good high potentials, he is not one of them. He has a 73 potential, which isn't bad for the MLS, but it's not great in terms of what I'm trying to do in the Premier League. So it is a little disappointing there. As you guys saw there, he had an 8.1 rating, which was the best out of the defenders on the team, but that was obviously because I was kind of trying to force the issue and make him play in the position differently. So I ended up getting a lot more passes off with him versus like Greg Garza. So here I ended up changing him to center back in the settings just to see if his rating would go up, but he is still 65 rated. I think that's mainly again because of his marking. His marking does bring down his stats quite a bit. If his marking was higher up, closer to the same ratings as his slide tackling, I think you would see his rating go up a lot more. But we're going to end up playing Tyrone Mears this time at right back because, again, if we do end up signing Franco Escobar, the chances of it looks like Anton coming back are starting to dwindle. I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed. I think he did do really well for us. I would still like to see him in the team in some sort of fashion. So hopefully we can keep him. I believe he's still in Atlanta right now. If that's good signs for anything, maybe he can actually end up getting another loan opportunity to Atlanta. I believe if he does go on loan, he's going to want to come back to us, hopefully. So we're going to kind of keep our fingers crossed, hope that Anton can come back on another loan from Tottenham and give us another good season out of that. So let me know in the comment section down below, if Anton does come back, how do you want to see the team line up? Play with Franco Escobar yourself, see how he feels for you guys. Do you like him as a center back? Do you like him as a right back? I will say he still gets in really good positions. Again, you see right there he got that header, and it ended up fully giving us the opportunity here to push forward with the ball. And whenever he made passes, which again, I didn't really show you many goals in this episode or goal scoring opportunities, but whenever he got the ball and made a very good pass, it turned into a really good opportunity. So he's definitely one of those players that I can play out of the back with and feel pretty confident with. Here I tried to get him on a corner, but Joseph Martinez, a little selfish there, ended up getting in the way and taking the ball away from him. But again, as you saw there, as Joseph Martinez even got the ball, Franco was already going back into defense. So it's very good to see a player make that run, because sometimes that was super frustrating in the MLS career mode. My players just never got back fast enough, and you see there again, he made the run, he made the smart run to go all the way back to trek back whenever Zardes was going to miss that ball or to defend against Zardes. So again, his marking, not always incredible. It did kind of catch me out a little bit in this game, which you guys are going to see, but he does make very good runs, and here you see Miguel Almiron making a very good run himself for the goal. So again, came off of a very good play from Franco Escobar. If you're starting off with career mode and you're immediately going to add in Franco Escobar, I don't think you should start him over Michael Parkhurst in the center back role just yet. I think you should start him off as a right back, just to get his rating up, just to train him a little bit, so you can get that marking up, get his stamina up. More importantly, is something I didn't mention in the first game. Really, I probably should have subbed him out around the 60th minute. He did start slowing down quite a bit, which gave Seattle a lot of good opportunities here. This goal was slightly Franco Escobar's fault, mainly mine. I kind of ended up jockeying him in the wrong position, and again, his marking just wasn't quite there. I think I probably could have jockeyed that. If I would have pulled him a little bit more to the side and gotten that tackle off, I could have stopped that goal, but that was just one of the moments where you did see his marking falter just a little bit. He outran Dos Santos just a little bit, so a little disappointing to concede there. Here you're going to see I left this part in because LA ends up getting a lot of opportunities in these last 10 minutes because they're trying to push forward to score goals, and it kind of gives you a better understanding of how Franco Escobar is going to play. But he does have the stamina of a center back, even though he is playing right back. So if you do use him in career mode, definitely try to train his stamina and train his marking as much as possible. Try to, work him into being a right back. I think will be the most effective for you. But obviously you can bring in a new right back at another date, and then he can slide into that center back role pretty perfectly once you get his rating up a little bit. So I think he will do very, very well for us. It looks like he's going to be with Atlanta United for 3 to 5 years, somewhere in that range, with some player options. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Hopefully he ends up sliding into the team really well. It looks like the way that Tata runs things, I'm not sure how much he's going to get into the team right away, but obviously he has an off season to train with the team. So we're looking towards big things. This time I forgot to show you guys the ending stats for Franco in this game, but he did feel really good in that center back role, minus obviously conceding the 1 goal to Dos Santos. If you guys want to keep seeing these kind of videos where I talk about players that we are linked to, or players that are coming to the club or anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. But that is going to be the end of this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and until the next one, I will see you guys later.
Maybe he'll cross it here. It's a neat and a goal! And they've opened the scoring now. Attacking now.